Hello everyone, it's Mariners Fanatic back from the YouTube video, and in today's video I will be looking back for the final time at the 2021 MLB season. Before I get into that, I just want to apologize for not having any videos over the last month. With the lockout and not a lot going on, there wasn't much to talk about and I was pretty busy, so just a quick explanation there. But I want to get back into some more consistent videos as we get closer to spring training and that sort of thing. I'll be looking at two videos that I made last year. The first video is going to be where I predicted every team's record in 2021 and the division winners and all that. And then the other video is going to be the awards and playoffs predictions that I had. Starting off with this first video here, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead and look at my division and record projections, starting with the NL East. In this division, I had the Braves winning it with the Mets, Nationals, Phillies, and Marlins in that order. And looking at this, I wasn't too terribly far off. For the first half of the season, this was looking a little rough as the Mets were in first and the Braves were struggling, but it flipped in the second half. The Braves ended up winning the division, and the Mets fell to third place. As far as the records go, none of them were super close. The final division standings were Braves, Phillies, Mets, Marlins, Nationals. And there really isn't too much to talk about with the NL East. I got the division winner right, but other than that, I didn't really get much else right. Moving on to the NL Central. Actually pretty close to spot on with this prediction. The Brewers and Cardinals were battling it out up at the top. The Brewers won the division, the Cardinals got second, the Reds got third, the Cubs got fourth, and the Pirates were in last place. I knew that the Cubs were going to fall off, but I guess I didn't expect them to fall off as much as they did. Because a lot of people still had the Cubs as division winner contenders. I didn't see it at all, but I was still trying to be generous and kind of follow the trends a little bit. But if I had trusted my gut, I probably would have put them with a lot fewer wins. Overall, though, I think I did fairly well with the NL Central in predicting that. And there's not anything crazy to talk about with this division either. Moving on, talking about the NL West. Now this is where it starts to get interesting, and I got a lot of things wrong on this one. The first half of the season, things were looking up. I was like, okay, maybe I still got this one. As the Padres were playing well, the Giants were playing well, and the Dodgers were playing well. But the Diamondbacks were really struggling, and then the Rockies were just the Rockies. It ended up being the Giants won 107 games, which I did not expect at all. I don't think a lot of people did. And then the Dodgers, of course, were good. They won 106 games. The Padres had a great first half and then absolutely fell off in the second half. So, for the first half of the season, my prediction with the Padres was looking good, and then they totally tanked and fell out of playoff contention to finish third. The Rockies did about as I expected. They had a few more wins. Nothing crazy there. And the Diamondbacks, I knew they weren't going to be great, and that was a tough division to be in, but I did not expect them to be as bad as they were. It was brutal for the Diamondbacks this year, and they're definitely going to be going into some sort of rebuild if they aren't already in one. So that's the first division where things kind of really got shuffled up and completely wrong. This one kind of got a little bit right, but not really. I predicted exactly to the win and loss the Toronto Blue Jays. They finished 91 and 71, but they finished in fourth place, which is insane. The Rays were in first with over 100 wins. Then the Yankees and Red Sox were tied second and third with 92 wins apiece. And then the Blue Jays in fourth. And the Orioles were yet again very, very bad, finishing all the way down in last place. Did not really get this division all that right at all, to be honest. I underrated the Rays. Every year I underrate the Rays. I don't see it with the roster that they have, but somehow they make it work. But then I know if I predict them to have a really good record, then they won't be as good. So it's the Rays are the Rays, and you can't really predict what they're going to do. The Red Sox, I knew that they were better than people thought they were, but I didn't expect them to make the wild card game and then beat the Rays in the division series to get to that championship series. So the AL East, again, like the NL West, was a little rough. Didn't really get a lot of things right there. And here with the AL Central, I also got this one wildly wrong. Well, not really wrong with the White Sox. They were pretty close to that record. They did win the division. The Twins, I had a gut feeling they weren't going to be as good. But because the Twins are my second favorite team, I was like, they have pretty much the same team. They should be the same club and win as many games. And that was just not the case. The pitching did not come around. A lot of guys who pitched well last year did not do well here in this 2021 season. The Indians were just right about what I expected them to be, pretty average. So I had that right. And then if you just flip the Royals and Tigers in that, this division isn't all that terrible, except for me picking the Twins to win it when they in fact got last. Finally, the AL West. If you flip the Mariners and the Angels, then this division prediction is just about perfect besides the records. I was careful of overrating the Mariners, so that's why I had them at 76 wins, because a lot of people had them at 69 or 70 wins, and I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I thought they could maybe win 80. I did not think they could win 90. So that was impressive. The Astros, of course, stayed on top. The Angels always disappoint, which I'm not disappointed by that, being a Mariners fan. But it is like, how do you have Trout, Ohtani, Rendon, Walsh, Fletcher, all these guys, and not even win 80 games? It's crazy. We'll see what happens. They need pitching, but that's for another video. So the A's were the A's. They looked strong out of the gates, and then they fell off towards the end of the year, finishing in third. And then, of course, the Rangers were in last, as expected. So this division was a little bit better as far as predictions go. So those are the division winners and record predictions. So now we're going to move on to my predictions for the season, awards, and playoffs. Starting off with the comeback players of the year, I predicted Yordan Alvarez and Jordan Hicks. The Jordan Hicks pick was not close. He, again, missed basically the whole season. So maybe I'll predict him again to win Comeback Player of the Year next year. Buster Posey took it home for the NL, and then he promptly retired, which I thought was interesting. But I guess if you want to go out with a bang, then go ahead and do that. On the AL side, I predicted Yordan Alvarez, and to be honest, I think Yordan should have won. He was injured most of 2020, barely played at all, and he had another stellar season in 2021. Obviously, Trey Mancini has the better story recovering from cancer, and he did have a solid year. But based on stats, if we were going off of that, then Alvarez probably should have won the award. So I feel okay about this prediction. But of course, I will appreciate and yield to Trey Mancini winning it because he deserves it as well. So no real complaints there. Except for the fact that Hicks didn't play in 2021, basically. Moving on to relievers of the year. Again, I would say I got one of these right. Josh Hader won the award for the NL. Peter Fairbanks did not win it for the AL. That was Liam Hendriks. Hendriks had a great year. Fairbanks was not bad, but didn't stand up to what he did in 2020 in the playoffs and in the regular season for the Rays. Hader has been dominant for a long time and continued his greatness in 2021. So that was probably a pretty easy pick, to be honest. So nothing too surprising with that one. Moving on to rookies of the year. Both my picks fell short. Ian Anderson was actually looking pretty strong in the first half of the season, and then he got hurt and missed quite a bit of time. When he came back, he pitched okay, but wasn't all that great. And of course, he pitched great in the playoffs. So, unfortunately, Ian Anderson, with some more innings and time under his belt, might have been able to win the NL Rookie of the Year, but unfortunately it just didn't happen. On the other side in the AL, Bobby Dalbec had a really, really rough start. He did not bad in the second half and ended up having an okay season, but not really close to winning Rookie of the Year. Randy Arozarena won the award, and then there were guys like Wander Franco, who also had excellent seasons, so he wasn't really close to winning that award. Moving on to the Cy Young winners. This one, with Garrett Cole in the AL, picking him, I was kind of close because he was the runner-up. Robbie Ray was the AL Cy Young winner. Yeah, there's people who debate that. I'm not really going to spend any time debating that. But Garrett Cole was up there, so I feel okay with missing out on that pick. In the NL, Yu Darvish did not have the best season. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. My runner-up, Jacob deGrom, would have won the award if he just pitched more. Unfortunately, he's so fun to watch, but can't stay on the field. So I'm hoping that deGrom can stay healthy all of next season. And the NL winner was Corbin Burnes, who had an outstanding season. There were other guys like Brandon Woodruff and Zach Wheeler, who also had good seasons, but Corbin Burnes took the award home. Moving on to MVP winners. You know, if both of these guys, Mike Trout and Ronald Acuna, had stayed healthy for the full season, they may have won that award. Unfortunately, they both had season-ending injuries, and it's frustrating because I don't like the Angels. I'm a Mariners fan. I do not like the Angels, but I like Mike Trout a lot, and I wish he could stay healthy. And then with Acuna, I believe in this video I predicted him to have a 50-50 season with 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Before he got hurt, in 80 games, he had 24 home runs and 17 stolen bases. Probably wasn't going to get to 50 stolen bases, but he probably would have had, upwards of 40 home runs with probably like 30 stolen bases. So a 30-30 season is still impressive, and even a shot at maybe a 40-40 season, which not many people have done. So I really want to see Acuna get back out there on the field and have another great year. My runner-ups, I had Jose Ramirez and Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper actually did take home the award, which I was happy about. A lot of people have trashed Harper over the years. It was good to see him win that award, and he's kind of turning people's opinions on him, I think. Ramirez was probably top 10 in MVP voting. I didn't look at the final votes for everybody who got a vote, but he had another great season. Not really worthy of MVP, but he's a top third baseman, and I wish the Mariners would trade for him. But yeah, so those were my picks there. Moving on to the playoffs. I wasn't really close on these predictions at all, because of course I had the Twins winning the division. Only 3 out of the 5 teams I predicted to be on the AL side of the playoffs were actually in the playoffs. The Yankees, White Sox, and Astros. The Astros ended up going to the World Series. The White Sox were a first-round exit in the ALDS, and the Yankees lost in the wild card game. So nothing really great about those predictions there. On the NL side, again, my wild card teams didn't even make it. The Braves-Brewers matchup did in fact happen, and the Braves did win. And the Dodgers played the Giants, where the Dodgers beat the Giants, making a rematch of the 2020 NLCS, Braves versus Dodgers, where the Braves got their revenge and moved on to the World Series. And then, of course, with the World Series prediction, I was wrong on this one. The Braves beat the Astros 4-2 to win the World Series, which I was happy about that. And ultimately, I don't really want the Yankees winning the World Series, but it was just a prediction, based off what I thought at that time. So, I know this is a really, really long video, but if you stuck around, thanks for watching. And my 2022 predictions will come out closer to the season. I'm not ready to make those predictions yet, especially with the CBA not being finalized. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mariners Fanatic, out.